All right, just a note about the strict handstand push-ups for accessory piece number one. I don't need to demonstrate it because you can do it or you cannot do it. What I can do is talk about the modifications, which are not difficult to explain. Number one, I don't want to turn this into, well, I don't have strict, so I'm just going to do this as a max set of kipping. Not what this cycle is about. And a case in point, we haven't done kipping handstand push-ups this cycle at all. On purpose anyway, not as part of the accessory work. So please don't try to overthink this and do something different. If you don't have the overhead strength for the strict handstand push-up, which is, in my mind, one of the premier prerequisites that you should have before you start to add volume to a movement that is very dangerous, then that is you are one of the people who this cycle is for, right? So do not just go up and start kipping. Instead, we have some ways that you can to modify. Number one, if you're very close to strict handstand push-ups, but you do need probably a little bit of a break, let's just use an extra ab mat. No more than 2 ab mats. The ab mat itself is already higher than the seat cushion, so 2 ab mats on top of that is already decreasing your range of motion quite a bit. So I like that as just a get up on the wall, but no, I still have a little ways to go before I'm doing fully strict. Ways that we can start to scale that down over time would be to remove the second ab mat and replace it with a seat cushion, replace it with 2 seat cushions, which are ultimately still thinner than a whole ab mat. That's one way to do it. Now, I suspect most of us are on a different modification today, and that would just be the box variation of the handstand push-up. So if you're used to doing the piked variation, then I don't want to do those today because it's a max set, and when you're not doing the pike variation correctly, or you're just using too much sort of rocking back and forth, then you could do a max set kind of forever, and you wouldn't really be getting the strength out of it that we're hoping that you get. So not using the pike variation today, but instead going to use the box. Now, that can be any height box at all. And the reason the box is good is because there's no way to kip using a box. I mean, I'm sure you guys could figure it out, but you know what I mean. If we're using our hand positioning correctly and lowering the crown of our head and not just doing a push-up off the box, then it's always basically a strict handstand push-up. So a max set of that, even if it's just 2 or 3, is still very valuable to us. We know that we're building the strength that way. I don't really think that we're going to need any other additional scales unless that you are injured in some way. If you're injured, then we could do some pressing, but I don't think that's going to come up. Okay. What else can I tell you? That's about it. So go watch the other videos where I actually demonstrate stuff.